Okay, I purposely left off from what fear tells us, the money, because it is the biggest fear for most students. It's why most students stay out of the game, don't look at it, or just don't think that it's within reach. And that's fine. And I'm not saying that it is. It just depends on what you're looking to do. So I'm going to talk about some of the ways to cut costs and some of the things I did. First is destinations. The destination where I was looking to go, Spain, was $16,000. So that was a huge bill, and I had three professors who were all encouraging me at some point in the process to go to Spain. It was the first choice. Ecuador, on the other hand, was 7,500. So the simple choice for me, because my goal was not to study abroad in Spain or in any location. It was just to study abroad somewhere other than the United States. So I would have been happy with Tijuana, Mexico, just over the border. But so I looked at that, and let's put a K there for uniformity. I looked at that, and 7,000. Oh, wait a minute. That's completely wrong. Okay, slight mistake there. 7,500. Let's do 7.5 thousand. Okay, there we go. Definitely killing time on this video. 16,000 versus 7,500. That's the correction of what I put before. This was a big difference in driving down the cost. The other thing, do you know the cost of SUNY Cortland the semester I was there? Cortland, for a semester on campus and everything that was budgeted, was 8,000. See the difference? There was a $500 difference. It was about the same between destinations of staying home and going abroad. But why was that? It was because Ecuador, as a destination choice, had a much lower cost of living than Cortland did. And Spain, though, had a much higher cost of living. So what the cost of living does is kick up the program fee. See, there's two ways that programs are generally, and I'm going to say generally assigned. There's well, let's say tuition first. You're going to pay tuition at your university that you exchange with. And you've got to see how this plays out, depending on what you do. If you directly enroll at the foreign university, it's a little different. But if you do study abroad in the general, you go from your university to a partnering university in another country, you're going to pay tuition at your home school. For me, it would have been Cortland. But there's also, and this is what fluctuates, is the program fee. Now, the program fee is things like cost of living, flight, and the other thing is you've got to ask for clarity and clarification when you're applying to programs on exactly everything that the program fee entails. Because sometimes they don't add the flight. Sometimes they just say, well, it's housing and it's emergency repatriation stuff and all the stuff that goes into a budget for study abroad. So you want to be careful with this in making sure that you know everything that goes in. But when I was doing the SUNY New Pulse program to Ecuador, this was the cost. So this is how it drove it down. The other thing is, again, I applied for scholarships. And I had a year to plan. I was looking a year in advance. If you don't have a year, it's okay, but I highly recommend a year so that you know the scholarships that you possibly can apply for. You set up a great plan and you do all the research. Research is huge again. And you know what's out there. The other thing is there are student loans. And you need to educate yourself about those and how they work. And you need to make sure that all your financial aid is spot on. That's an Australian term. But you need to make sure all of that is working together so that you can pick a program that, one, you can afford, and that, two, allows for you to get good scholarships. And Ecuador was actually a better scholarship choice than Spain for the Gilman Scholarship, which I won because they wanted non-traditional locations. So all of these things work together when I started looking at it, and that's what you've got to do. If it doesn't work, at any time you can pull the plug and say, okay, I'm not studying abroad. Well, anytime other than when they bill you for the program. That's kind of the cutoff date. But when you're looking at programs, if you put all these things together and just keep asking questions and do the research, you can cut the risk and the cost down so that the money isn't as big a factor as you once thought.